Hey, welcome to another edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri, and you can feel that fall is in the air. A little bit of cool, that nip in the morning when you get up, and that means football playoff time is near. We're going to talk some football, both flag and, the other kind here on Inside Tulsa Athletics. We're going to find out what ROTC has meant for a couple of athletes here, and we're going to go behind the scenes at what sports can do for just the personality of a school system, all today right here. Stay with us and learn just as we do on Inside Tulsa Athletics. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri. We're going to talk a little volleyball. The ladies from Booker T are here. We have met Taylan Nero before. Thank you for being here. And also Arriana Brown, who's one of our captains and a senior. Let's start with you. Just tell us about your season.
All right. So this is my fourth season at Booker T. We have had a roller coaster ride of a season for sure. But it's been fun. We've had some challenging moments, but for sure have overcome and we're going to state. So we won regionals. We hosted for the third time. And so this year, third time's a charm.
All right. So tell me, when you say roller coaster, I mean, every team is up and down. We know that. Every team has dents, dents and people get injured and that kind of thing. What were your biggest ups and biggest downs this year?
So actually we'll talk about injuries. I think that has been a bit of a struggle for us. Every week has been somebody, being down out of a concussion or a rolled ankle or, so those have been some moments of definitely, I would say, some down moments. But some high moments have definitely been overcoming those moments, sticking girls in who don't usually play those positions and them being able to own it and do well there. And so, yeah, I think we've done well in that area.
And that's one of the things that people tell you all the time. And as an athlete, Arriana, you always hear, even when you weren't a captain and a starter, next person up, your next player up. You have to buy into that, don't you? Mm-hmm. What do you see happen for the people who are behind you, who are doing like that, who are working that hard? How do you encourage them?
I think that they just need to always be ready for everything, and they need to just prepare themselves, because being captain, I mean, it's not hard, but it's not super easy. I mean, you have to be a role model for everyone else on your team. You have to show them the best you can, so you can show them that they have to be better. Or not better, but push themselves even more just to fulfill the position.
I've been around a lot of captains in a lot of sports. Some of them were vocal. Mm-hmm. Some of them weren't. They just showed exactly how to do what they do by working their tails off. Mm-hmm. Which are you?
I'm both. I definitely show, I definitely push people to be better. If I know someone can do something, I'm like, you got this. Come on, you got it. And then I'm also, performing-wise, I know that I'm always trying my hardest. I know I'm always giving 100%. And I do that not just for myself, but to show people that it's always good to give 100%, because that's how you get better and that's how you progress as a person.
And that's why you have people like that as captains, right?
Absolutely.
You can't
say a whole lot. Perfectly. Absolutely.
A lot more about that. But do you notice, because you see it through different eyes.
Absolutely.
She's seeing it through a competitor's eyes, and you've been there, but you're looking as a coach. So you're watching those other young ladies in there. Do you see them growing and paying attention because of that kind of leadership?
Oh, absolutely. I think that a lot of the girls look to our seniors and obviously Ari as our captain, and we have another girl who kind of is our co-captain and plays as that. And I think those girls are looking at them and they're like, we want to get there, we want to be leaders like that. And I think sometimes too, we have a few freshmen on the team and things like that. And I think for them, it's really detrimental for them to see how it looks, because I mean, the process and the journey is tough. 4 years, I'm like, these girls, they did their dues, they did their time. And so I definitely think that it helps to see these girls work as hard as they do, because they're a good group. I'm sad about losing them. There's 6 of them, and I'm tearing up as anytime we talk about it. So yeah.
Yeah, we need this to be like college, where you can just play for 10,
right,
15
just
years
let them keep coming back, 7th year.
Right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, just one of those things where you're GR transfer, that kind of thing. Yeah, I want to ask you a little bit about getting peaked at the right moment. Been around a lot of football coaches talk about doing that. You have to do it in every sport. And when you've got a group of volleyball girls, what do you consider peaking at the right moment? What is your definition?
So, okay, that's kind of a loaded question. So I think peaking at the right moment to me would be seeing the girls click. So we talk about like being on one page, all of us, all 15, 16 of them, like rising at the right moment at the same time and seeing what that actually looks like. And I think some days we see it in practice. I don't think I've seen it yet in a full game, like from start to finish. But I think that that's our goal going into state, is this first round really showing up and showing ourselves that each person wants to be here. We want to give our best effort, and I'm hoping it clicks, because like I do think at the end you do see a peak moment. I know for last year at state, Bishop McGinnis was one of those times where through and through, I think it was semifinals, I felt like we played our championship game, but every single person down to the bench was bought in. They were ready. I could call any of them in there, and I felt like they could fulfill the position. So I do think that that's coming for sure.
Do you feel that when that's, as a player, when what coach is talking about, everybody's dialed in, do you feel it?
I definitely feel like some games are off, some games are on, some games it's like in between, happens half the game, doesn't happen half the game. But I know that as a team, at one point every single year, we always come together, and I definitely think that it'll be during the state tournament.
And you don't want it to be too early.
Yeah. Right.
It's one of those weird things,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll peak later.
Right. Absolutely.
You don't want to do that either, but you do have a timing issue.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk more about that in a minute. We're going to come back and talk more to these ladies here on Inside Tulsa Athletics, talking a little volleyball with the ladies at Booker T. Coming back here on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Hey Tulsans, the city of Tulsa would like to remind you to recycle right. When it comes to items that you can put in your blue recycling card, remember these 4 categories: aluminum and steel cans, cardboard and paper, plastic bottles and jugs, and glass bottles and jars. Please remember that plastic bags, styrofoam, and batteries do not belong in your blue card. Please do your part, and don't forget to think before you throw.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS.
Back on Inside Tulsa Athletics, I'm Rick Couri, again, your host, and we're joined by the ladies from Booker T. Talk a little volleyball. We have Taylan Nero, who's the head volleyball coach. I almost said football.
That's all right.
You want to take that job too?
Hey, I actually would love to play football. I don't want to coach it. Just put me in.
I know. I understand that there's some pretty good flag football going on around Tulsa Public as well, right?
Yeah, I wish they would have had it when I was in school.
What would you have played?
All of it.
All right, but what position would you have played?
Probably quarterback. I think I have a good arm, and
Why was I not surprised you said quarterback? Right?
Or like running back. I was fast when I was
Either one
younger.
of them.
Now
All
I
right.
don't run.
Is she still fast?
I don't run anymore. Volleyball's one of those things, you stay in your square, shuffle to the side.
Of course, she's the head coach. She can do that, right? Not so much Arriana Brown, who is one of her captains. All right. Is she pretty athletic still?
Yeah. She practices with us sometimes, and she definitely challenges other people.
She ever spiked on you?
Nope, not me.
You ever spiked on her?
Yeah. Yesterday.
Spill.
It was an overpass, and she went up, and then she went like this, and it went right off.
Oh, I'm ducking. If there's no blocker, I'm out of there.
What attracted you to volleyball in the first place?
When I was young, I did like this Team Tulsa thing. It was just like camps and everything, and we just would play for fun and everything. Oh, I said that a lot. And I used to play basketball, which is what my mom played when she was in college. And I just grew to just completely love volleyball. I mean, I like basketball, don't get me wrong, but like it was not something that I could see myself in the future playing. I can definitely see myself playing volleyball, and I will play volleyball in the future. And I just think that the love and the passion that I have for the sport is just what brought me to it completely.
Now, obviously, you're a tall young lady, so
Yes.
you would be a natural up front. But is there a place? It's one thing. Everybody wants to be a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be a quarterback, right? But then maybe you're more like an offensive tackle,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, is there a position you really want to play, or are you happy right where you are up front?
I'm happy where I am. I love being an outside. I get to hit, I get to block, and I get to pass. And on some occasions I set if it's out of system balls. So I really get to do everything, and I really just enjoy having the diversity of playing, like not playing every sport, but like being, not every sport position,
Sure.
but like being a part of like every position.
What down the stretch of your skill sets are you trying to perfect?
Basically, I just need to work on playing with a lot of range and a lot of like IQ, and then obviously my blocking, it's good, but it can always like get better. Everyone can get better in every way. But playing with range is like, on a court, a lot of people like to just hit the ball, just like spike it, try to score. But having range is like seeing the court and seeing the spots that you can hit, seeing the open positions on the court, seeing what can score, seeing just the different ways that you can pull the ball down without having to completely hit the ball. So if you want to like tip, roll shot, like spots on the court, there's all different ways you can score. And I think that not that I need to work on it, but it's definitely something that'll give me an advantage. Mm-hmm. And if I just know, if I can see the court a little bit better and just play with range completely.
A lot of that, I mean, to me, it sounds like good volleyball intelligence, right?
Absolutely.
So that in your mind, it's like this, because thinking players are slow players. You want reactive players.
Absolutely.
How do you teach that?
Okay, so to be honest, I think that a lot of that is a natural instinct. And I don't want to say like if you got it, you got it, and if you don't, you don't. But it's kind of one of those things, especially in volleyball. I think that it's a reactive sport. It moves really fast. Mm-hmm. The ball moves really fast. And I think sometimes in order to teach it, one thing that I try and do to help vision, because like honestly, it's just widening your scope. Sure. It's just teaching girls that they can use more than just what they're looking at, using their peripheral vision and widening the court, I think. Also, just creating shots, trying to help them identify like defense on the other side and what they look like, how they're shifting, what's open. And honestly, I think IQ comes down to like, wanting it almost, like you have to like want to see it, Mm-hmm. I don't know. And quite frankly, I think it's one thing that's a player has to choose in order to actually get the coaching and retain the information.
And repetitions.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. The more you're doing it, and I had a baseball coach who he called it situations. So he would call out the situation, then he would hit a pop or whatever, and you had to make that decision in your head. Mm-hmm. Those kinds of drills are really valuable, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that becomes muscle memory. Mm-hmm. And so that's my goal, is for the girls to be able to not think about it, like you said before, but to just do it and be reactive. And so that's what we try to do, is drill it into their head.
Yeah, you guys have been to state a lot.
Yep.
I mean, and this is just another trip, but this is what you work all year for.
Absolutely.
Do you ever sense nerves, or how do you work on it?
With the girls or with myself?
Or both.
Oh, I'm like, okay. I think one of those things for me, I think everything starts from the top. So I think if I show up scared, if I show up nervous, if I show up all jittery, I try and make sure that I'm leveled so that I can teach the girls to be that way as well.
All right. That is Taylan, Nero, and Arriana Brown from Booker T, about to head on into state. Thanks for being here. Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics next.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the City of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Battery, steel can, thermos. The correct answer is steel can. Aluminum and steel cans are great for the City of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. To dispose of e-waste like batteries, contact the City of Tulsa. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
This is Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri. We're going to talk a little more flag football. Love talking to these ladies from Rogers. It is Shavonna Rucker, and I am told before you got here that you're still one heck of a football player yourself.
Well, I try to. I'm getting seasoned, but I still love to play, and I enjoy teaching the next generation as well.
And that generation is right here. It's Kyran Bills, who is with us as well. Tell me what position you play.
So right now I am a receiver and a runner back.
Do you like one of those better than the other?
I don't know. I'm starting to like receiver better than runner back. At first, when I first started out playing, I was like, I'm just going to run the ball. I can't catch. I'm going to run the ball. But then as I started working my way up, I started getting better. So I'm like, receiver is probably my best option.
All right, so what did you work on to get better at catching a football?
Well, she was mostly teaching me how to catch like this, basically. So as I kept like doing that, I kept getting better because I used to just like be scared of the ball. So I would,
It only has to hit you in the nose once before that happens. Trust me, I've been there. But now, once you started to getting into that, could you feel the real difference in the way you had like the soft hands and the control and all?
It was way easier catching, and then I could I think I'm getting better at catching at long distance. It was also getting easier for that too. So
right.
I just couldn't be scared of the ball.
Right. Did you see that in her?
Yeah, she can catch darts now. At first, she was shying away from the ball. We worked on a lot of hand-eye coordination. But she's saying that she can catch, but she's one of my best defenders. She's averaging 3 interceptions a game this season. So I beg to differ.
I would say if you're catching the interceptions, you're doing your job. There's no doubt. Tell people about how your team's doing.
Right now we're 2-0. The team just started. We still have quite a few freshmen, but a lot of the vets that returned from last season, which was the first season.
Sure.
And so they've gotten better. They got confident. They were sold in it. They couldn't wait for the football season to start. And so it was just exciting to see that type of energy from the girls and to see the love has grown and how they have accepted that it's certain things that they have to work on in order to succeed in the sport.
From what I'm hearing from all the people in flag football is that you don't have to recruit because the girls are doing it for you and that they're actually turning more people out.
Yes, we grew in numbers this year overall with the whole flag football in Tulsa. We grew in numbers as well as on our team. It's kind of hard because we're in between the 2 seasons, but football and volleyball and softball, and so a lot of them want to play different sports. So that's where we try to get those when they come in. We let them come in. We embrace them. We still teach them. Try to get them up to pace where we're at and everything, so they can play and participate. Because we do want everyone to get the opportunity to show their skills.
So you're dealing with a lot of young ladies who have never done this before, but some who have either played around families or brothers or that kind of thing, and they've been in the yard maybe doing it. Where do you start with your teaching, knowing some of these young ladies are going to be further along as far as knowledge of the game than others?
So the thing what I start out is always, the biggest thing to me is hand-eye coordination. If you can catch a tennis ball, keep your eyes on the ball, follow it all the way through to your, from your hands all the way into your arm. We work on a lot of footwork. That's one of the big things, foot, hip, and the girls, the hardest thing that I'm saying is a lot of immobility. So you have to do a lot of stretching for the hips and the ankles to be strong enough to pound the ground. Those are the key components that we work on. And then the language. The language is another thing that they have to catch on with, like the line of scrimmage. You got the receivers, the routes, you have defensive coverages, stuff like that. That's a lot to put in just a short period of time, but they have accepted it and they've grasped it.
Kyran's shaking her head when you talked about language. Was that difficult at first?
I was very confused on what she was saying. Like, I was like, line of scrimmage, what is that? Like, where am I supposed to go? Or like the routes, she'll be like, 5 in. I'm like, okay. 5 in, which way am I going? Like, it was kind of confusing, but as she kept telling us and working on it, I got better.
So did you go home and like study what all that stuff meant?
Actually, no, I didn't. But since it was practice and she's my mom, she was just telling me. So it was kind of easier. And then she was also giving me examples. So I feel like I could see better as that visually.
Right.
It's easier for me to learn than just her telling me.
Right. But once you do it, like over and over again, you start to understand. Did you start to feel like you became a better, faster player at that point?
Yes, most definitely. I felt like that I could easily maneuver myself. Because if I don't know what I'm doing, then I'm stuck. So I'm confused. I stop. I shake. So.
Right, you talked about how all your interceptions. Now, when you're playing, obviously, in the defensive back spot, what is it you're looking around for? You watching quarterbacks? You watching receivers? You watching a combo?
So I'm usually the safety or either the rusher. But as a safety, I'm the last person. The last person for the people who are getting the touchdown, my opponents. So I'm looking everywhere. If I see someone's going over here, I'm going to cut them off before they pass me, since I'm the last person. Now, with the rushing, I'm usually looking out for either the quarterback or the runner back, but mostly the quarterback, so I'll have to go to them first. But I'm always looking at my surroundings for anything.
Sounds like you've taught them well.
Yeah, you got to keep your head on swivel.
Yes, that is exactly right. We're going to do the same thing right here at Inside Tulsa Athletics. Thanks to the ladies from Rogers. Back with more coming up.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Glass bottle, string lights, ceramic mug. The correct answer is glass bottle. Glass bottles and jars are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But string lights and ceramic mugs should be donated or thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
We're back on Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm your host, Rick Couri. Let's talk a little football, shall we? Man, I finally has that feeling in the air of fall and football, and Jarvis Payne from Central is here. It does feel football, doesn't it?
It does feel like football. That first fall breeze, I couldn't wait to see it. And then when it came through, I just felt like a new day.
And it was late coming, too.
Yeah, we waited on it forever, man. It was weird because it's been hot for so long. I was like, man, summer doesn't know when to go away, so we couldn't wait to get to this fall breeze.
Yeah, and I noticed both your players are nodding, too. We'll get to them in a second. First of all, for people who aren't familiar with how things are going, catch us up on your football team.
Right now, we're standing at 3-4, 2-2 in the district, so we're working our way up. I mean, we still got one more tough game. Well, actually, 3 more tough games. So really, everybody in our district is pretty good. So we're working hard and trying to overcome some things. You know, we had a few injuries that we're kind of battling, but we're running around at the right time. So I think we're going to be okay.
Man, 2-2 in the district. I mean, you're in not a bad place at all.
Right.
But now at this time of year, every one of these games, you know, people say winning is hard. You don't understand. It doesn't matter what level you are. Winning is hard everywhere, and your last 3 won't be easy.
Yeah, we played the other night. You know, we're 2A, but they came out with 80 players, you know, so I think everybody at their school played. So the last 2 teams were pretty good, and the quarterbacks were tops in the state, the last 2. So we kind of call it the gauntlet that we had to go through, and then we got one more tomorrow night. So we got to go ahead and get through this the best we can.
All right, we've got a couple of players, and Miguel Montoya and Ralph Stokes are here with us. And let's start with Miguel. First of all, tell us what position you play.
I play defensive end and D tackle.
All right, so yeah, you're a little thin for the D tackle thing. How does that work out?
I just recently, I go where I need to be, and if they need me right there, then I go to D tackle since we don't have that many players. So wherever I'm needed, that's where I'm going to go. And so, yeah.
A lot of those guys at D tackle, like in high school like that, especially with your build, kind of work into that rush in guy. Is that kind of where you think you are?
I feel like D tackle will get me more aggression for defensive end. I feel like I should be doing better more in the defensive end position, but so D tackle will help me get to where I need to be in order to get to that particular level where I want to go.
Let's talk to Ralph. All right, Ralph, what is it you play?
I play free safety, nickel, and wide receiver.
All right, now you do have that free safety build right there. What do you like about being that far behind the line of scrimmage and that view you have?
That's the thing, the view. I get to see everything. when it's run, I get to come down and hit. That's really my favorite part. And then also get to see pass first, easier back there. Get to get my coverage, get my interceptions.
Yeah, he mentions interceptions, Coach. Yeah, they always bring that one up. You know, I don't think people understand when we talk about, you hear this term a lot right about now, eyes right. Mm-hmm. When you hear eyes right as a free safety, what does that mean to you?
So usually on my right side, get to my right side look. But I can't just turn my whole body over there because like a smart quarterback, you look at both ways. Mm-hmm. So it's something like a trust my peripheral vision.
Right.
That's how I use my eyes right.
Yep, and you got to make sure you're looking at the right keys and doing all those things, right? And Coach said you guys have some tough games coming up. Tell me how you as players feel you're doing.
So as a team, like as Coach Payne said, we're kind of new. We got to go through injuries, but we're going through like a rebuild right now. But I trust in my team, and our practice has been great this week. I feel like we're doing good, and I feel like everyone got their heads up. They're coming ready to play for this game.
So let's go back here and talk to Miguel for a second. As we near the end of the season, you talked about aggression a little bit. What else is it you want to work on in your game?
What else I want to work on is I want to work on staying calm, like keeping my composure. I see that like if I get held in a certain play, I feel like I get a little too angry too quick. So I need to learn how to keep my aggression down a little bit and stay locked into the game. And so I know as the season goes on, I got the coaches and I got my teammates that can help me keep my aggression down and play how I need to play.
All right, so aggression at the right moments.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I see you nodding your head.
Yes. You know, it's a fine line.
Yes.
You know, he's a fiery guy, which I love, but, you know, you got to be able to walk that line. So he's working on it. He's came a long way.
You know, when you have a player like that, though, you don't want to back them off the emotion.
No, because you have to have it.
Yeah, but but how do you walk that fine line? What's your approach?
We just let him go for a minute, and then we'll pull him back to the side, and then we'll tell him how he could have handled things better. And then we'll try that approach the next time. And then we kind of set up drills and actually have go through some things that'll kind of see if we can get a reaction out of them. And then, you know, the old coach in me kind of comes out. If they don't do what they need to do, then we have to take care of business.
So does the coach in him come out very often?
Only when he needs to. But we've been doing pretty good. And staying on our keys and everything. You know, during practice, we're getting a lot better at understanding our assignments. So I feel like they don't need to get to that coaching side as much as they need to.
You're laughing too. When you see a head coach get that look on his face, yeah. What does his look like when he's about to get serious?
I tell you, it's like you could hear him coming, like. You could be facing the other way, and you just know when you messed up. You know Coach Payne right there behind you. So it's already bad.
Well, guys, first of all, that was very nice. Good luck on the last of the season. I hope things go well, and you take care of it all. You guys, good luck down the stretch, and thanks for coming.
I appreciate it.
That's the guys from Central right here on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS. Hey Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Rick Couri. To pull back the curtain a little bit, we filmed this at Webster High School, and the folks here are helping us out with this episode. And so what are we going to do? We're going to bring in somebody from Webster, Grayland Dunams,
Yes, sir.
you do a little bit of everything. Run down all your duties.
I am offensive coordinator for the high school, assistant, head middle school football coach, head girls basketball coach.
So you do an awful lot, and you're trying to balance all your time, plus you're teaching.
Yes, PE, middle school PE.
All right, so when you're teaching middle school PE, are you really keeping an eye out for people who can play?
Yes, because it's hard for me as a coach. I'm always looking, and I always ask kids in class like, hey, why you don't do this? Why you don't play basketball? Why you don't play football? You should run track. I'm always trying to give kids encouragement to do something instead of just being in PE. Like, hey, I think you should go out for athletics, whichever athletics it is.
You get some people who take you up?
Yes, I've gained 3 girls basketball players, a couple football players that came out. So right now it's working for me.
Outstanding. All right, now we're gonna talk a little bit about what sports does for a culture in a school, and I think we can see at the college level when teams perform and win titles, enrollment goes up. Now that might sound silly, but it's true. That can't necessarily happen at a Tulsa Public Schools because people have to live in a district.
Yeah.
But what kind of an effect do you see athletics having on a school?
Well, just for us in general, since football has been back, we've gained maybe 10, 15 kids in the last couple weeks. Our record doesn't show it, but we've done a lot better just getting kids out and getting a part of the sport. But I mean, I like it. I think the sport is growing and everything, like wrestling for us now, girls wrestling, middle school wrestling, flag football. Just the more you get involved, the more kids come out, then the more kids are like, oh, I want to be a part of that and be a part of something.
Well, and then you talk about the culture at the school. There's a pep rally or people showing up for games or that kind of thing, but there can be a buzz in the building when one of those teams is really good, can't there?
Yes, so my middle school team is really good. So we were in a game, a tough game last night, and we ended up winning. We were losing 6-0. Right before the game was over, we go down and score, touchdown, and then get 2-point conversion. We end up winning. So, but I have 45 kids, 46 kids on the middle school team, and more kids are trying to come out and be a part of it.
Well, and the cool thing is that next day at school, they're talking about in the hallways, and you hear other people doing the same thing, and you kind of feel that, don't you?
Yeah, so my middle schoolers think they are like champions right now. They walk around with their chest out like, Coach, we did good last night. So they just think they've just won everything, and we're in the playoffs this year for the first time since they brought it back. So we'll figure out what our schedule is for like that next week. So we want to be the first team in middle school to bring back at least a trophy no matter what place it is.
One of the things that's really people I don't think understand enough, especially when it comes to high school football, is it's not just that Bixby got good or that Jinx got good or Union got good or Tulsa Washington got good or Webster got good. They have to start at those young ages, and you have to teach kind of the same things they're going to learn in high school.
Yes.
How do you guys coordinate all that here at Webster?
So I coach Little League regardless. Like I coach a team in Muskogee Little League. I've been a part of the Little League since I've started coaching, and I've always been a strong believer. It starts in the younger grades, then your middle school. That way when they get to high school, it translates, and you don't have to go back and forth of teaching kids the little basics again because they already know. So we all try to stay busy with the Little League and coaching. That way when they get to high school, we don't have to reteach something that a kid should already know.
And some of that has to do with even things like play calling and vernacular and what you call formations and things like that. The more comfortable they are with that, the better players they are.
Yes, so for me, it's difficult because it's my first year being the OC, but I know some coaches at Broken Nero that I volunteered 2 years at Muskogee. They help me with a lot of stuff, so I'll call them and say, hey, this is what's going on, and I'll go over and they'll help me. Coach Prentice Joseph will help me every time, like with formations, calls, just schemes, just helping out to help kids relate better to it.
And when you see young men nowadays come out to play a game, or anybody for that matter, they want to be the highlight.
Yes.
You have to get them to buy into the process. How do you go about it?
I try to tell everybody that we're not looking to score touchdowns. We're all looking to get 3 yards of play. So that way we can just eat the clock up and then score. We're not looking to just make this guy the top guy or make this guy the highlight reel, because it don't work like that for a team. You got everybody has to be in tune with everything and then in tune with what I'm putting in so we can go and score and win the game.
How do you try to improve yourself as a coach every day?
Watching film and just going back, and even if I make a bad call, I let my kids know that's not on y'all, it's on me. I should have called it different, or I should have put you in a different situation, like boundary-wise, yardage-wise, just paying more attention to the on-the-field stuff instead of going, okay, let's try this out. And then going back and looking, no, I should have done this better. that better. So I don't always put the blame on the kids because it's not always them. And I also put the blame on myself. I got to be better in certain situations of the game.
And a lot of that's just knowing what a kid's capable of. And
Yes.
then you put him in his best opportunity.
Yes. Also, like I tell him, it's my first year ever calling plays too. So I got to work on a lot of stuff as well.
Is there something you think in your game that you've gotten a lot better at lately?
Yes, just understanding who my kids are and what they're good at and what we are as a team good at.
And that has been?
For us, just slowing the game down a little bit. When all our guys are healthy, running the ball, just scheming, like we know a full blitz is coming, trying to throw a screen, and it does good, and just kind of getting everybody wide so when we get a blitz, we can get our playmakers the ball.
Well, to be real honest, Grayland was a guy who came in and said, we had somebody who couldn't be here, and he said, I'll do it.
Always.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yes, sir.
Nicely done.
Thank you for having me.
Grayland Dunams right here from Webster High School. Back with more on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Which one of these items can be recycled in the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart? Air filter, cardboard box, toy car. The correct answer is cardboard box. Paper and cardboard are perfect for the city of Tulsa's blue recycling cart. But air filters and toys should be thrown away in the gray trash cart. Learn more at tulsarecycles.com.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at
tulsaschools.org/teach TPS.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, another segment. I'm Rick Couri, your host, and this guy's worn a groove in his chair. That is Jason Selmon from Tulsa Public Schools. Along with him, Xavier Bauer and Aniah Williams, who are here from Webster, who are part of the ROTC program. I want to start off with you, Jason, and the ROTC program. Just what does it mean for TPS?
It means a huge deal because, you know, our kids are learning a lot of great skills that make them employable. So leadership, community service, getting out and you know, learning how to get involved in community is huge. So those are things that we believe in at TPS, and we want our students to do that, and JROTC gives them the avenue to do it.
How many schools are involved?
All of our schools are involved. 7 of them have a Army-supported program. One of them, Booker T. Washington, has an Air Force supported program, and Central has a Navy supported program. So all of our district schools have JROTC.
And we have a couple of those members here with us. We have Xavier Bauer and Aniah Williams. Aniah, who is germophobing the microphone right now. You will be just fine, I promise. Tell me why you wanted to become involved in junior ROTC.
It wasn't a choice, actually. I was put in there in 8th grade year, and I just liked it and decided not to leave or anything.
What did you like about it?
Learning leadership skills, learning about the outside world and everything, like all the skills you would need.
There are a lot of different things when you start talking about going into something like a career in the Army. I had an uncle who was 41 years as an Army. In the Army, he was a master sergeant. There were so many things that he had an opportunity to learn. Is there something you really want to go learn about?
That JRTC can help me?
Yeah, that you think, you know, in your future, if you actually choose that, would there be something you think they could help you with?
Maybe.
What are your future interests?
My future interest is business. I've seriously been thinking about business lately. And right now, actually, I am Junior RTC's S23, so I am in charge of all of the paperwork, basically. So that's a start.
Well, there you go. See, it's helping you already. What about you, Xavier? And I understand you're one of the leaders, if not the big dog.
Yes, I am.
What does that mean?
So just like a small thing of it, what I do is when we go on events like our future one, the Veterans Day Parade, I will be walking down our cadets down the downtown Tulsa. I'll be giving commands. Like when we're waiting to go to the parade, I'll be giving them commands. Don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that.
How did you become a leader?
Well, during my 4 years, I was definitely motivated. I was trying to definitely get up the ranks. And as everybody started graduating, I started getting higher and higher until eventually I got up to the top, and it's a really good spot to be at right now.
What got you involved initially?
Well, like she said, we got put in the class, but beginning of the year, I'll be honest, I was like, this is boring. But once I started really getting into it, I was like, whoa, this is a very good program. Oh, this is all the stuff I really need when I get up there.
You know, it's one thing to say it, but it's that moment. What was the moment for you in class when it went from being, oh, I have to be here to, oh, I want to be here? What happened?
Well, it was definitely my 8th grade year, 2022, I'd say, Veterans Day Parade. I noticed how everybody was giving commands. They were leading. They were basically making sure everybody wasn't doing this and doing that. I was like, see, look, they're doing all this. I'm just sitting here. I need to learn how to do that. I need to be there.
How do you think it's helped you as a student and as a person?
Well, definitely one of the things I also do is academically help you.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been learning how to take notes. I've learned how to lead, how to learn better. It's lots of different things.
That's a lot of different things we're hearing, Jason. And I see you and hear you going, mm-hmm, and shaking your head an awful lot. What is it you think you're hearing from them that you like?
Well, obviously the confidence to stand up here with a microphone and talking to a camera and articulate exactly what they're learning in the class. And so, you know, Xavier was telling me he's part of the basketball team here at Webster, and I'm sure those, those talents and those things they're learning translate to the basketball court as well. And so I think the confidence and the motivation that I hear them talking about will be, guiding things that'll lead them to greatness.
So does that help you? I mean, are you a bigger leader on your basketball team now?
I'm a junior and we have seniors on the team, but I'm still going up there. I'm just trying to learn how to learn for the basketball. As the power forward, I really won't be the point guard leading, but it'll definitely help me get people out there, get people to the spots, lots of different things.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a power forward, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Look up a guy named Paul Presley. He did pretty well from power forward in leading teams. I'll tell you about that. What do you want to do in your future, Aniah?
Like I said earlier, being a businesswoman and everything. I have not figured out what type of business, but I would like to be in there. Yeah.
How do you think this is going to help you when it's time to go do that? The discipline aspect of it, maybe as you move forward?
Yes, 100% the discipline aspect. People, whenever they hear discipline, they think like, oh, you got to do 100 squats or whatever. No, no, it's discipline as in junior RTC. It's just like being on time, being there, being prepared and everything, knowing what you need to do, doing it, and it's a lot.
Showing up is half the battle, as they've always said. Xavier and Aniah, thank you very much for your time here. Jason, thanks. I'm sure we'll see you back next week or another time. He's here all the time. Coming back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics next.
Hey Tulsans, the City of Tulsa would like to remind you to recycle right. When it comes to items that you can put in your blue recycling card, remember these 4 categories: aluminum and steel cans, cardboard and paper, plastic bottles and jugs, and glass bottles and jars. Please remember that plastic bags, styrofoam, and batteries do not belong in your blue card. Please do your part and don't forget to think before you throw.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Rick Couri, your host, and we are going to talk a little girls flag football, and I'm telling you, it has caught fire. Krystal Markwardt is with us from TPS. Are you the one to blame? Or, pardon me, are you the one to get all the credit for this? Because, man, it has taken off.
No, Mick, when I came into the office a couple of years ago, Mick had an idea, and he said, what do you think? And we just kind of ran with it, and it was, it just previously been announced that it was going to be in the Olympics. And so we just kind of ran with it, and it's blown up. So we're really excited.
It's easy enough to say we just kind of ran with it, but you don't go from that to having teams, coaches, officials, venues, popcorn, you name it. Take me through this process.
So we originally looked at it, and he said, hey, this is what I think we should do. It's, got national attention right now. It's the next biggest thing. So we talked to our ADs in the district, and some of them were hesitant, but some of them were like, yeah, that would get more of the females out to participate. So I think our biggest task was trying to pinpoint when we were going to have this season, like what time of year for facility usage and that kind of thing. So we landed on a good spot. We did this the end of the fall season, really because of college coaches, because their season is in the spring. So this is a great time for them to come and recruit our kids. So it's been a lot of planning and work, but thanks to Donald Driver and his team, BSN and our office staff, we've really done a good job with this program.
And it has exponentially exploded a little bit, hasn't it? I mean, you talk about
Absolutely.
numbers. You guys have numbers.
We do. We actually did a check last week on our numbers, and we were at almost 300 kids. And we've got some that, for example, East Central, they've got a full JV squad, even though we don't have JV flag football right now. So they're practicing with them and that kind of thing. So we're really excited about the direction of this program.
Now, think about that. Think about 300. Then not just the people, the girls. All right, think about moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas, the number of fingers that spreads out and the way that works into getting people involved. And isn't that the whole point?
It is. And really, it's just trying to find another avenue for kids to be involved in something, so that they'll be successful and they'll learn all those valuable tools, that they learn through sport. And really, I kid with the kids all the time. If the sport were around when I were young, this is probably what I would have ended up doing. But for the most part, we're trying to keep up with the program because it's growing so fast. So that's kind of where we are. How do we, manage and maneuver a JV or a middle school schedule? Because our middle school kids are asking when are we going to start playing? So
that's great. And I understand that you've also had some scholarships out of this, which has been really important. You can at least point to a couple of those and say, that thing is out there. I also wondered, because you started it and because you've kind of grown like you have, are you getting calls from other people saying, how did you do it?
We are. We actually talked to, Mick got a call last week from a neighboring district, and they're wanting to join us for next year. So we've talked about doubling our size again for next year. So we're at 12 teams right now, and that's hopefully next year is going to double in size. We're really excited about that.
Some of the young ladies who have been here are players or people who have played other sports, but we've also seen some people who hadn't been involved before, which is, again, kind of the point. When these young ladies, and I don't know how much contact you have, but when you do talk to the coaches or the young ladies, what are you hearing they like the most about it?
Really, a lot of them talk about playing a sport that everybody for so long has said only guys can do, right? And so, you've got a lot of women and young girls that love football, that really like watching it, but they didn't really know what their place would be in that sport. I've had one kid tell me that her and her dad now have a lot better relationship watching football together. That was from a young lady at the camp. I mean, I think it's always been there. It's just how do we connect to that sport? And this has been the avenue for most of them.
Have you been surprised, and I have, by some of the ladies we've had up here, their knowledge going in? Now, many of them had brothers, dads, whatever,
right,
but their knowledge going in was a little higher than I might have thought.
Yeah, we've seen it on both ends. Some of the coaches say that they've spent a lot of time off season just teaching terminology and that kind of thing because they weren't aware. I think the athletic ability is what a lot of the coaches were shocked about. Like, hey, these girls have a lot of skill. We just got to teach them some of the basics. And we found some good quarterbacks. I mean, this year we've really seen a lot of growth from last year. So it is moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I would think so. And along with that comes the excitement amongst the others in the district, because all it takes is one person telling somebody else they had a good time. And even if football's not their thing, it might get them going somewhere else. That's right. Have you noticed any anecdotal or ancillary just increases in anything else?
Well, I think it's attracted some kids even to our district, to be real honest. We've had calls from outside. Last year when we first introduced it, we've had calls from students in neighboring districts saying, hey, can we play with your school? Well, no, but you can come here and move here and be a part of our programs. But we've had some of that. We've had program interest, kids from other programs wanting to join. And then we've had a lot of kids that have come out of the hallways that weren't doing anything, that were like, hey, this is an opportunity for me. It's a short season and we can, kind of see where this goes, because they weren't ever involved in athletics. So just the excitement around it, the girls talking about, building connections, building team, camaraderie, that kind of thing has really been good.
Had you played, what would you have played? What position?
Well, with my size, I probably would have been on the line somewhere.
Krystal Markwardt from Tulsa Public Schools is going to leave it right there and not say another word. We'll be back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics coming up.
Hey Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I always wanted to be a teacher in a school, and preferably high school, and here I am living out my dream.
I was going to be able to make a difference. The district is so equitable and lovable to our students.
I chose Tulsa Public Schools because I am Tulsa Public Schools.
I have a lot of students from different cultures that speak different languages, have different traditions.
Tulsa needs teachers like you.
Make a difference in Tulsa.
Apply today at tulsaschools.org/teach
TPS.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. I'm Rick Couri, and we are here with the boss. That is the big man. That is Mick Wilson right there. And, you know, we should say something nice about Dennis Burns and Ricky Bowlin, who are our crew here, because they sit back there and they work and they figure out the gremlins, and there are thousands of them, and they make it work. And we need to say how much we appreciate those guys.
Well, 100%. This show is really carried by those guys, and they do such a good job. And as they stand here and look at us, we have to talk nice about them, Rick, to their face. But when we get off somewhere, we can definitely share some stories about these guys, especially when it comes to recording shows. So we can talk about that sometime, and maybe we'll even let our audience know in a future episode what we're talking about.
Yeah, right there. We'll leave it right there for right
please,
now.
Please.
I want to talk about something that happened here in the last couple of weeks. We had some weather issues, and it's Oklahoma. We know that's going to happen. We've had a warmer than average fall, although it suddenly turned, and when it did, we had some weather issues, and a lot of games got moved. That's a lot of moving pieces. Those are people at concession stands, and moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and cheer squads, and I mean all that stuff, buses and how you get somewhere, venues. How in the world do you go through all those processes?
Well, I think you spend time. You have to really rely on your site folks, and then you try to bring everyone together. We had some meetings just this morning on weather for Friday night. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the cold this time or snow or ice. It's more of the lightning, which is a huge problem, probably more than anything that you deal with. So just trying to maneuver each site and then trying to bring folks together. And of course, now it's all district football, so it's not just a Tulsa public problem, it's a state problem, which Trinity Johnson had sent out an email this week about rescheduling games and many of things that you don't think about, Rick, security. You think about officials, having enough officials to work Thursday night rather than a Friday night. So we've been on the phone the last 24 hours trying to get that organized and then send out a final detail. And of course, with us, we coordinate a lot of our game security and coverage with the Tulsa Police Department and Tulsa County Sheriff. So keeping those folks in the loop as well. And, I sent out one email and called it update. Then I sent out another one called update. So letting them know that we've had additional changes, but really coordinating with our partners throughout Tulsa County and our other district games, trying to make sure that those are covered and that we have folks. And really another problem we run into moving all these games, Rick, is transportation that people not think about. Having enough buses to get teams on the road, whether it's Booker T going to McAllister or someone traveling, down south to Durant or something like that. So it takes a lot of organizing, but our staff rallies around our local site ADs and helps them get that figured out.
Have you guys had venue problems in that situation before? Maybe somebody's got it that first night or the night before?
Well, the only problem we have there is our two sites. Obviously, you have East Central and Hale sharing Eastside Stadium, and then of course you jump back to Memorial and Edison that share LaFortune. So sometimes we play those games on Thursday night out of convenience and out of necessity, but fortunately this week we didn't run into that problem.
Yeah, but it is a lot of pieces. You got to make a lot of people involved, and then there's still going to be people who don't quite get the message and don't understand, and that's hard too because somebody's got to answer the phone.
Well, and that's why Barry Lewis keeps me on speed dial, wanting to know what the latest update is with venue changes or game changes or even time changes. We've played that game before, trying to move games up for different necessities, or playing two games at a venue in one night. That's not happened very often, but it has happened in the past. So you're right, just keeping our communications team abreast of that so they can share with our parents and our fans and our constituents that we're going to be changing venues or locations or times.
Speaking of venues, you're heading toward playoff time. You talked about district, and it is important because everybody's got to play this time of year because of district standings and such. When do you start making preps for that and start thinking about and talking about who plays where and all those things? And how long does that take, Mick?
That usually is a preseason meeting. We start that early as summer because of the other thing we coordinate, Rick, and something we always have to keep in mind is some of the things we've dealt with in the past tragically has been around security coverage and having ample security. So that's a big thing. Homecomings, trying to coordinate homecomings at different sites because some of our homecomings are so well attended. You know, the McLean homecoming has unbelievable tradition. The Booker T homecoming has unbelievable tradition. So some of those places where you're going to need extra security, where you're going to need to rely on our police staff or our units from different TPD parts reaching out to help us. But we start on that in the summer, and we work through that diligently because we've got to make sure that our kids and our fans and our folks are safe. And we want our folks that are visiting from out of town to feel safe and feel confident when they attend our events. And we have a lot of things that we have to overcome, and that's one of them. So we really start early to plan and coordinate all of our efforts.
And you have to, because not only that, you're also switching over. You've got other sports that are just starting as other sports are ending, but you're always in that turnover, aren't you?
We are, and right now, we're trying to maneuver girls flag football. We're going into our second year of a highly successful, something that exceeded our expectations, and to do our due diligence with coverage for girls flag football, because now we have two other teams, three teams now that have joined us outside of our district, being Bishop Kelly and KIPP and Catoosa. And we've recently secured, this is probably, I'll go ahead and share it now, but Sapulpa will be coming into our conference next year as well. So lots of interest and lots of folks getting on board. So you coordinate that, not to have kids have to make choices, but we have girls basketball starting as well. There's a lot of places we need to land, and it takes a lot of organization for sure.
And that's why that guy's in charge. He is Mick Wilson. He is the man in charge at Tulsa Public Schools as the AD. Thanks for stopping by, boss.
Thanks, Rick. We appreciate you guys.
You bet. Back with more Inside Tulsa Athletics coming up.
Whether your child is moving from elementary to middle school or from middle school to high school, Tulsa Public Schools is here to help support your family every step of the way. From STEM and fine arts to career tech and athletics, TPS offers diverse programs to inspire and challenge your student. And with our advanced placement, dual credit, and career training programs, they can even get a head start on their career. Help your student find their future at TPS. Enroll today.
Hey Tulsans, the City of Tulsa would like to remind you to recycle right. When it comes to items that you can put in your blue recycling card, remember these 4 categories: aluminum and steel cans, cardboard and paper, plastic bottles and jugs, and glass bottles and jars. Please remember that plastic bags, styrofoam, and batteries do not belong in your blue card. Please do your part, and don't forget to think before you throw.
Well, that's going to do it for another edition of Inside Tulsa Athletics. I want to say thanks to all the folks who are being here. We learned about flag football, about ROTC, about some things happening inside TPS, and of course, we got ourselves ready for an almost playoff season here for a couple of different sports. It's going to mean that you need to get out and see one of those sports right here, and we'll see you back again on Inside Tulsa Athletics.